Los Angeles, approximately 13 to 15 million population. In America, we have that number, 15 million in poverty, except for they are children. Picture all of LA with its 13 to 15 million population, children in poverty. In America, we have 47 million in poverty, so enough to go around. Poverty is an epidemic. It is a disease. Poverty negatively affects a community through crime, drugs, and disease. My name is Adam, and I'm going to take you through some of the different faces of poverty. This here is a child in poverty, asking for help. Will anybody answer the call? Here is a mother feeding her child, but who will feed her? We have a veteran on the bottom left who fought for our country heroically, but who will be the hero for him? And ask yourself here, what are these people running from? Who does poverty affect? Poverty affects the most vulnerable. Poverty affects women, children, mothers, single fathers, any minority. Some information for you. People in low incomes are twice as likely as those with higher incomes to be a victim of domestic violence. Women who make $7,500 are more than 7 times as likely as their counterparts who make over $70,000 to be a victim of domestic violence. Here is a face of poverty. This woman was a victim. Women who experience poverty often have nowhere to go. Women stay in relationships because they're battered. If they leave, they don't have the money often to get their own place to live. Poverty knows no borders. Some more information for you. Poverty also leads to a dramatic increase in not just crime, but violent crime, specifically murders. Here's one example. In Mexico alone, as a result of poverty and the drug war, there has been over 100,000 dead, more than twice the U.S. service members killed in all of Vietnam. Drugs and poverty often go hand in hand. With drugs comes addiction, and with drugs comes easy money. And one aspect of drug-related crime is drug trafficking. People look for an easy answer. Another factor to consider is mental illness and drug abuse. Many people will use drugs to try to just calm these symptoms. But as a result of poverty, they do not have money to get treatment, and they often wander the streets not having any idea they have a disease. Another statistic, almost half of our population, 46% approximately, are in jail as a result of a drug-related crime. Poverty and drugs, it affects more than just the user. It affects families. Here's a picture of a child. The children are often the ones that are affected most by their parents' drug use. The parents look for a cheap fix because they're addicted. $65,000 Americans each year die from a preventable infection. One cause of that is that there is no insurance, no universal plan where those who do not make a certain amount of money can afford it. For example, with the Affordable Care Act, even though you can receive subsidies, what happens if you do not make enough for the co-payments or for the prescriptions? Without insurance, this is what will happen as a result of disease and poverty. This is the Ebola outbreak. Places where poverty is rampant, they often suffer from a lack of medical care. Not that medical care isn't available, but that it cannot be distributed because of the discrepancy between incomes. Another aspect to consider is poverty and diet. Poor health, because of poor food choices, it's often difficult just to squeeze a meal in. And as a result of that, we all pay, because the uninsured have nowhere to go but the hospital. 40 47 million Americans, again, are suffering from poverty. Infections and diseases often go unpassed. We are waiting for the next pandemic. What does it all mean? Well, poverty will bring increased crime. We've seen the results of what happens when people turn to violence because of poverty. It affects everyone. The diseases know no borders. Diseases will affect everyone. One closing thought to leave you with. What if that was your family member? Crimes, drugs, and disease, 3 ways poverty affects a community negatively.